Hey, 10-minute daily reality check here today. Eddie and Greg are here. In a minute, we're going to talk about don't text the ex. But right now, we're going to talk about something really funny. There was a conversation we were having before we started about men and cue cards. Imagine if there was a world out there where there was a beautiful woman, just like the boxing girl in the middle of the ring that brings out the number of the round, right? And all of a sudden, while you were looking at the air, as Eddie called it, a Wonder Years moment, where you're like looking for some voiceover that's going to come, Kevin's going to talk to you and go, hey, listen, okay, say this to Winnie, okay? And then all of a sudden you say it, and all of a sudden she falls in love with you. Or, as Eddie says, you look in the air and you're looking for something. Greg was saying there's like cue cards up there, right? Ask her an innocuous question. Do you like the yellow sun in the sky today? You know what I mean? And it's funny because guys struggle with this all the fucking time. And all women are is just people, not aliens. They're people. Today we're not going to talk about that, okay? Because I know right now you probably want to hear it. Women, you're listening right now, you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I didn't realize how guys this painful. Yes, when he's looking up at the sky, he's not looking, well, he's hoping God will give him an answer, right? So, today we talk about don't text in the ex. And I think the reason why they want to text the ex is because they don't want to go out and have these moments anymore where they can't connect with anybody.
Yes,
so,
that's probably, I'd agree.
What happens when you don't text the ex? I mean,
you're moving forward in life, not going backwards to the same thing again and again and again and again. Stay out of the same old familiarities. But they kind of know my tendencies. They know who I am already. So we can play this game where we're going to get it together this time. And then we don't. And then, we move on a few weeks, and right when you have to step out of your comfort zone and meet somebody new, I'll just text some of the exes and bring one of them back again.
Recycling.
We just recycle. And then every time we recycle that can, it gets another dent in it, and it's harder to drink out of. Then we put it back. Then we bring it back. Then we get another dent, and it's harder to drink out of. Then we bring it back. And to the point you can't even get the Sprite out of the bottom of the Sprite can because it's so dented. And then we bring it back.
And we keep going.
And we're dehydrated now, but we bring it back.
Why do we bring it back? Do you think we bring it back to the Sprite can over and over again because we're afraid to try Coke? I mean,
wow,
right? I mean, if you think about it, we're bringing
that was not scripted.
No, we're bringing this fucking can back over and over again because we don't want to go back to have that moment of the fucking Wonder Years, staring up at the sky, thinking, "Oh my God, Kevin, help us!" Right? Because we remember what it's like. If you think about people's mindset, people hate being single. I hate dating. I hate this, right?
Women and men.
Oh, yeah, wait, whoa, women's kryptonite. Oh, fuck. Don't even want to go there.
Somebody's going to run into the next car listening to this podcast.
Yes.
I can't believe he just said that.
Women's kryptonite, right? Tell them what it is.
It's loneliness.
Yeah, they can't.
Loneliness.
They can't be alone.
Date the guy in a Jiffy Lube, until, Mr. Right comes along, stringing that guy along. It's better than being alone at night and having to get to know myself and find out what I like and don't like and what I do like about me and what I don't like about other people. I'll just hide behind this mask and let this guy who I really don't like chase after me and cater to me to appease me.
Yeah, and then women also don't want to be alone, so they also, instead of just the ones that don't have the man, then they're out there and they become like, I know these women, I see them all the time. Here we are at Joshua Tree, and here we are here, and here we are there. We're at this concert, right? Here we are at this opening. Wait, let me pose in front of the fucking, that screen that they all pose in front of at the events, screen, right?
Yes.
And every night they're booked up like sorority sisters for like the next 5 years.
And, not to detract from Don't Text Theirs, but they're quick to snare or snarl at every guy who actually tries to get to know them. So to those women, we say this: we're not stereotyping, we're generalizing you. We're just saying let the guard down a little bit, open up, and stay outside their comfort zone. Instead of going back to the exes, try someone new, but don't try the new safe bet. Go out of your comfort zone. Oh, I know that guy. He won't hurt me. He's a nice guy. I'm not really interested in him, but I need a safe guy right now. I know a lot of girls who've done that. Oh, he's safe. He's not going to hurt me. But do you like him? He's a good guy. What's not to like? But do you like him? He's a good guy. What does that mean? It means you don't like him.
And she doesn't want to fuck him. He's a good guy, but I'm not attracted to him.
Or, a couple glasses of wine, and because he opens my coat and he's a nice man, I can fuck him. But that's not where they want to be. But it's better than being alone because they don't want to come home at night and have to curl up next to the pillow with no one there continuously.
Yeah, and the guy didn't dickmatize him.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
But that's not something every guy can do. That's not a skill every man has.
And we'll talk about that another day. Greg, you said something too. There's another thing. Yeah, it's part of the swag. Exactly. There's something that Greg knows as well, really well. There's another reason why you never text the ex, especially if you share kids with the ex, because what happens next is you get into the old fucking fights. You start triggering one another. Remember you told me, like, never text an ex when they try to trigger you.
Oh, we're talking about our ex-wives here.
Yeah, well, we're talking about our exes. We're talking anybody. You know, we'll talk about anybody's ex-wife, but it's the truth.
Intensely for a few months. You know, anything.
People don't know that David and I, both of our ex-wives, are born on the same day.
Not the 4th of July.
Bad omen.
Very bad omen. So the tendencies were quite similar, but you know, every time you get into too heavy of a conversation with my ex-wife, all of a sudden you get a novel. You get these novel texts. And they're picking apart every little problem that's going on with the kids or you and child support and I'm not happy and blah, 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 blah. And it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I get sucked in. And I used to go on and on and on and try to ramble and justify all my points and do all these crazy things all by text because I couldn't stand talking to her. So then I decided.
This is you.
So then I decided at one point, I'm like, you know what? All my answers are one word. She does the whole blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay.
Ooh.
And then she go, blah, 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 blah. I'll say, sorry. Because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And I had to keep that distance because otherwise she'd be all in my video, man, and then I'd have all kinds of other problems.
Well, and that's why we don't text exes because they know. Mm-hmm. Women know how to constantly trigger the man, right? You know, because they're smart. I mean, they're smart that way. They mind work that way.
Both sides. Romantic stimulant and the anger or whatever the reason you guys don't talk stimulant at the same time or, you know, one after the other.
Yeah, so you found a way, and it's brilliant. And I think you should patent it. I think we should sell it, right? It should be $100 for a consultation with Greg for 5 minutes. And he'll read one of your texts, right? And he'll tell you exactly how to respond to that text for the rest of your life. He'll give you your magic 2 words. I mean, think about it. It's a great program.
I'm sorry was the other response.
The great text.
They're all kind, right? There's nothing negative there.
No.
That's just killing it with love. That's why.
Absolutely.
That's why it's effective. And the best part of it is I'm not engaging.
Absolutely.
Okay, the engaging, though, really can suck you in. And he did. When I wanted to engage, he literally was like, Carol Ann, don't go into the light.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother who lives in New York City earlier today, and he texted me, and I already knew when he sent me the text, hey, can you talk for a minute? It was going to be an interesting talk, so I knew it had something to do with the woman. And I was just telling him the same thing. He get to the end of his whole spiel, and I was like, it sounds like you need to put this woman in your rearview mirror. And I said, don't text her. Don't tell her all this goodbyes, and we need to just stop texting her. Because no matter what you do, if you send another text, she's going to send a text to suck you back in. She's going to find a button to push on you to get you to suck back in because it's about her being able to control you. And it's not just a woman-dominated thing. There are plenty of men that do that out there, too. We're not just saying it's women. But she's going to find that way to suck you in. A lot of women do that because the emotion of it all is more of a womanly trait. The men that do that tend to be more female. So
yeah, female.
The lack of attention.
Odell Beckham. Ish. Right.
We'll use that, very, feminine tendencies. And that's not a bad thing. Women are more emotional, and that's a beautiful thing because it opens men's eyes up to things sometimes. But at the same time, those exes play on a lot of emotions, and sometimes you're on that third glass of wine on a Wednesday night and you shouldn't be. You tend to, maybe it'll be different this time. Maybe it would have been, you'd have thought differently if you went on that third glass of wine and thinking of only the good times. There's always the good times that we remember first, and it's a week into those texting, that old flame, we start to remember the bad times, and then everything turns again. And then it just gets worse, and then we become more jaded. And then now we start looking at the new world with old lenses. And you can't see as well in that last description as you can in the new one.
Well, you romanticize you romanticize the good times.
Oh, yeah.
And you suppress the bad times.
And those good times become, it was, we went to this restaurant, and it becomes to a picnic on the beach. You just hype it to something it never was. It's like the fish story. The fish is 10 feet tall when you keep telling the story, but when it really happened, it's about...
It's a goldfish.
Yeah.
It came home in a plastic bag, but by the time you told the story, man, you had it fucking mounted up there.
Jaws. Right? It took two of you to haul it in on
yeah. It took two of you to go to Petland Discounts and scoop it out of the aquarium and then put it in the little bag and then take it home and not let it shake too much in the back. I used to have fish as a kid, but we're not going to talk about fish. So one last point, Greg, right? Uh-huh. Do you think having 3 daughters has taught you to really just use one-word answers?
He's got 3 daughters. I'll let you know what kind of guy he was growing up.
It's a good...
Oh, wow. I don't know what it means, but that's all right. It's the same thing with the kids, though, but they're teenagers, man. So they talk and talk and talk and talk, and they never stop talking about all kinds of shit. And when you text them, it's the same thing. The only benefit of when they text is I get to see the manipulation. They're not good at hiding it. When daughter wants to stay out late at a party, she kind of comes in with a soft little sentence, kind of lovey-dovey. How's your day? What's going on? And then she'll slip it in. Hey, by the way, the party's this weekend after the last show.
Wow, they're that bad, huh?
I'm like, and I was thinking of staying either at Aspen's house or Robson's house.
Those are real names?
Those are real names.
What the fuck?
Last names, I hope.
No, first.
You know the town.
Come on, Boulder.
Gotcha.
When she writes this epic little email, I respond with things such as, I'll think about it. Or thank you for the information.
That is beautiful.
And then I just wait. And, I get a couple panic texts back, like, oh, sorry, I'm sorry I was a little late, sorry that. And then you just let it simmer. It's one simmering right now on that same exact story.
Playing John Mayer's daughter in the background as he talks right now.
I've got the drop text message simmering all night. She'll get it in the morning, and then we'll see how worried she is.
Beautiful parenting, by the way.
Turn it up.
See, and not to get completely off topic, that's called real parenting. That's called I had kids and I'm taking the time to raise them. 2 things I want to commend these 2 gentlemen I'm sitting with that actually do, because a lot of people have kids, but are you actually raising your kids? Sorry to get off topic, but I just wanted to give these guys an attaboy.
Oh, nice.
We should talk about raising kids one time. Yeah, it's an interesting topic because a lot of people are not good at it. A lot of people don't want to take the ups, downs, turns, and everything else. Anyway, Eddie, where can they reach you?
EddiePalmer12@gmail.com. We'll go from there.
David at DavidWygant.com. You can reach Greg. He is available for your 2-word answer text. Auto text Greg. And if you want to really reach him and stuff, and book a coaching with him, I strongly suggest it for a few reasons. One, because if you got kids, he'll give you the 3 words you need to dip to the boy, to the girl. And if you're dating somebody or you're being triggered by somebody the wrong way, he'll give you your 3 magic words. Because really in life, we are looking for that shortcut, and Greg will give it to you. See you tomorrow.